All Academy. Always with you.
And the next question is, in gears, the circular pitch can be calculated by the right option 3, that is pi d divided by t. So the circular pitch in a gears can be calculated by using a pi into d divided by t. The next question is, the creep in a belt drive is due to, the right answer is option 3, that is it is due to the uneven extension and contraction of a belt due to the varying tension. So that is a creep in a belt drive. And the next question is, if a force acts on a body, it sets up some resistance to the deformation. This resistance is known as, the right answer is option 1, that is stress. The stress is the measure of what material feels from externally applied force. So it is nothing but the ratio of external force to the cross-sectional area of a material. So it is given by stress will be equals to force divided by area, and its SI unit is Newton per mm square. And the next question is, whenever a material is loaded within the elastic limit, the stress is dash strain. The right answer is option 2, that is stress is directly proportional to strain within the elastic limit. So which can be easily identified in a stress strain curve. The next question is, the modulus of rigidity is defined as, the right answer is option 3, that is the ratio of shear stress to the shear strain. The modulus of rigidity is defined as the ratio of shear stress to the shear strain. The next question is, the value of Poisson's ratio for a steel is, the right answer is option 1, that is it lies between 0.25 to 0.33. So the value of Poisson's ratio for a steel lies between the 0.25 to 0.33. So what is this Poisson's ratio? It is a ratio of transverse contraction strain to the longitudinal extension strain in a direction to or direction of stretching force. The next question is, the bulk modulus is expressed in, the right answer is option 3, that is Newton mm square. So the bulk modulus is the ability of a material to resist the change in its volume. That is a bulk modulus definition, and its unit is Newton per mm square or Newton per meter square. The next question is, the relation between Young's modulus and the bulk modulus is given by, the right answer is option 4, that is K will be equals to me divided by 3 into m minus 2. So the Young's modulus is defined as, it is the ability of any material to resist change along its length. So that is the definition of Young's modulus. The bulk modulus is the ability of a material to resist the change in its volume. So that is a bulk modulus definition. So the relation between Young's modulus and bulk modulus is given by K will be equals to me divided by 3m minus 2. The next question is, the thermal stress sigma is calculated using the relation. The right answer is option 2, that is it is calculated by using a relation sigma is equals to alpha T into E. That is sigma will be equals to alpha into T into E. So what is this thermal stress? The thermal stress in mechanical stress or mechanical engineering is created by any change in the temperature of a material. So these stresses can be lead to fracture or a plastic deformation depending on the other variables of heating. So which includes the material type and constraints. So the thermal stresses which leads to the failure of a material, and it is calculated by using a relation sigma is equals to alpha into T into E. The next question is, if one end of a beam is fixed, then it is called, the right answer is option 4, that is it is called cantilever beam. So in a cantilever beam, one end fixed and another one is a free. And the next question is, the reactions of each support of a beam can be determined from following condition of equilibrium. The right answer is option 4, that is all of the above. So the reaction of each support of a beam can be determined from following condition of an equilibrium. One is algebraic sum of vertical forces must be equals to 0. Then algebraic sum of moments about any point must be 0. Then algebraic sum of horizontal force must be 0. So all the three answers are right. So the right option is all the above. The next question is the point on a contraflexure occurs only in, the right answer is option 1. So the point of contraflexure occurs only in overhanging beams. And the next question is the SFD, that is shear force diagram for cantilever beam carrying the UDL, that is uniform distributed load, will be. The right answer is option 2, that is it is in the shape of triangular. The SFD for a cantilever beam which carrying the UDL will be in the shape of triangle. The next question is when shear force changes its sign, the bending moment is. The right answer is option 1. So when the shear force changes its sign, the bending moment will be maximum. And the next question is the BMD of a, that is bending moment diagram of a simply supported beam of span 1 and carrying the point load W at the center of a beam is. The right answer is option 2. That is the bending moment diagram will be an isosceles triangle. So it will be in the shape of isosceles triangle. The next question is the shear force in the center of a simply supported beam carrying the UDL, that is uniform distributed load of W per unit length is. The right answer is option 1. That is it will be equal to 0. The shear force in a center of a simply supported beam carrying the UDL W per unit length will be equals to 0. The next question is the bending moment at the free end of a cantilever beam carrying a load at its free end is. The right answer is option 4. That is it will be 0. So the bending moment at the free end of a cantilever beam carrying the load at its free end will be 0. The next question is the ductility of a material is defined as. The right answer is option 1. So the ductility is nothing but a ability of a material to undergo a large permanent deformation under the action of tensile force or a tension. So that is a ductility of a material. The next question is the cast iron is characterized by minimum of following percentage of carbon. The right answer is option 3. That is the cast irons are characterized by minimum 2% of carbon. So if the 2% of carbon is present, so then cast irons are characterized. The next question is a cupola furnace is used to manufacture. The right answer is option 2. That is the cupola furnace is used to manufacture the cast iron. A cupola furnace is a melting device used in a foundry industries that can be used to melt the cast iron. The cupola can be made almost any practical sizes. So the cupola furnace is used to manufacture the cast iron in a casting industries. The next question is the aluminium is extracted from which of the following ore? The right answer is option 2. That is bauxite ore. So the aluminiums are extracted from the bauxite ore. The next question is the best suited material used for manufacturing of heat exchanger is. The right answer is option 3. That is copper. So as we all know that copper is a good conductor of heat. Copper is more suitable material for designing of heat exchanger. So what are these heat exchanger? The heat exchangers are a device which transfers or which changes the heat from cold fluid or cold liquid or cold fluid to hotter fluid or hot fluid to cold fluids. That is a interaction of heat. So copper is the best material for a heat exchanger design. And the next question is the Babbitt metal is. The right answer is option 3. It is a tin base alloy. So the Babbitt is a metal which is of a tin base alloy. Babbitt is a tin base alloy. The next question is the hypoeutectoid steel have a carbon content. the right answer is option 2. That is, it have less than 0.83% of carbon. So those metals or those components are called the hypoeutectoid steels. And the next question is, which of the following is a case hardening process? The right answer is option 4. All of the above. Carburizing, flame hardening, cyaniding. All these comes under case hardening process. The case hardening is a material processing method used to increase the hardness of an outer surface of a metal or a material. The types of case hardening are flame or induction hardening, carburizing, nitriding, cyaniding, carbonitriding, and ferriting, nitrocarburizing. So these are the different carbo or case hardening processes. So these all comes under the case hardening process. The right answer is all the above or all these.
Click on subscribe button and press the bell icon to get updates from All Academy.